Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today, Miss Carissa?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome, everyone, to Lunch and Learn Live. It is Christmas week.
Yes. And
Tis the season.
Hanukkah.
I put on green.
Oh, very nice. Green's my favorite color.
There you go. Well, it is the color of the season, and it makes me think of the evergreen trees that hold their green all times of year, right?
That's very true. And it's like my favorite scent. I always get like the evergreen essential oil, and I love to diffuse it at this time.
Awesome. So those of you who are watching, give us a shout out. So in the chat box, go ahead and say hello and let us know that you're watching. I mean, Carissa, what are we going to talk about today? I think we need to talk about the holidays and gratitude and vulnerability and all of that. Because I think that that's probably an important topic for the day, especially as people are crazy for the holiday season and taking that time to stop and reflect and get present to themselves and their lives and their families and all the things that really matter.
Mm, yes, I agree. But before we dive in, I just want to say to you,
Uh-oh.
well, I want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you, love.
Because I think that you are just truly amazing and you've created such an incredible community for all of us. So
Oh,
it's really a big thank you to you for your vision, your dedication, and your passion. So
thank
I just
you,
wanted to give
love.
you a big
Thank
shout
you.
out.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I know I promised visibility this year, and I've already been thinking about this morning, like, how am I going to step out into that visibility that I put out there? And I'll tell you the one thing that I usually don't do is let anybody know that it's my birthday. It's kind of like a secret. So when you go to my social media page on my birthday, like you don't see hundreds of happy birthdays because nobody knows it's my birthday. And
Same. We relate.
yeah, but then I started, I've been really thinking about that and thinking about that in the context of visibility and of being seen and what is it that has us or what is it that has me, I'll speak for myself here, not want to be seen or acknowledged or have that be an important part of my year or anybody else's year, right? And so I think that for me, that's been a really powerful inquiry to be in. And my aunt sent me a message this morning.
Aw.
I'm gonna open it, and she said, "So proud of the amazing person you are. You've brought so much joy to the family. On this beautiful day, I want to remind you how loved you are and how important you are to everyone. We love you."
Aw.
I mean, it brought tears to my eyes, and I cried a little this morning. And then I realized, like, recently my as you know, my uncle passed away, and I attended his funeral last week. And listen, my uncle he's not the good citizen guy. He's not the person that we would call a model citizen by any stretch of the imagination, right? He did things his own way. He had a mouth and an attitude that could you either liked it because you were like, damn, he has no trouble not speaking his word, or you didn't because it was not always appropriate, right? And he lived he lived a tough life with drug addiction and in and out of jail. And yet I sat at his funeral service surrounded by people from his community whose lives he all touched. And it was truly profound. And as I kind of think about that and I think about kind of the inquiry that I've been in for myself, I realize, like, gosh, what do we all really want in life, right? We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be loved, and we want to make a contribution. That's all we want. right? I know that that's all he really wanted. And it was such a testament for me. It was like, I strive to like be really good and do everything the right way, and, operate everything in integrity all over the place and not step on anybody's toes. And he did probably the exact opposite of all that. And yet all of these people just loved him for who he was. And so that brought me to thinking, like, how often do we hide who we truly are because we're worried about, we've got all these fears around judgments or assessments, or are we going to measure up, or are we going to be good enough, or is it even worthwhile? I've always said, I don't talk about my birthday. It's not really an important day. It's not about me. I want to hide. But maybe the truth is, like, it's important for us to not just be acknowledged by the other people in our lives and give them that opportunity, but to also stop and acknowledge ourselves and who we are and the things that we have to be proud of. Because it doesn't matter who we are or what we've accomplished or what we haven't accomplished or how we measure ourselves up or how we don't measure ourselves up. We're all here using our space on the planet because it is a gift, it is an opportunity, and we are here to impact one another in whatever way we have impact. And that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of what I've been sort of muddling through this morning, and kind of what my brain has been chewing on.
I love that. I mean, I think that's so beautiful, just really showing, like, when you were speaking, it made me think, like, just having space for ourselves, right? And that vulnerability, however we share it, is really about being raw and real with ourselves so we can give that to others.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most challenging things that I know for myself, and just even working with people. And it's interesting because your vulnerabilities are your greatest strength.
Mm.
It's allowing the parts of us that often hide to be seen and accepted instead of
Yeah.
hiding.
Yeah.
And it's through that process that we can really attain connection and have that healing happen.
Yeah.
It's like loving yourself through the unlovable moments,
Right.
and just taking the time, which I think the season is perfect for, to like reflect
Mm-hmm.
on things.
Yeah, we have our New Year, New You workshop next Monday evening. I'll put a link in the box for everyone. I highly encourage everyone to be there because it is going to be one of the most transformative things that you do in preparation for the year 2025. And you guys, we always think about setting up new goals, and it's all about all these ideals and aspirations that we have, but I feel like we never spend enough time also reflecting on all the things that we've done and how far we've come. And really, I think the gift comes from starting in that place of gratitude. So I don't know. I think that's a big part. We're going to do a lot of different exercises in that short 2-hour workshop, but it's going to be highly impactful.
And December 30th it is, right?
It's December 30th. Yeah, it's next Monday from 6 to 8. So it's before the new year, right? Before the new year. But just at the perfect time to begin to reflect. And the truth is, we don't need to wait for a specific time or place to actually begin reflecting. And I don't know about you, Krista, but I think one of the biggest things that I remind our clients of all the time is to really stop and appreciate and find the love for themselves. And I think that is one of the most critical things to us accomplishing whatever it is that we set our goals to. I know we see people in our practice a lot who self-sabotage. They know they're self-sabotaging, right? And as we start to dig and unlayer, we start to realize that there's this place inside that doesn't have that true love and connection for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think we all want to get to. As much as we want the love from the other people in our lives, we've also got to stop to find the love that we have for ourselves. And that's probably even harder than any other thing. At least in my opinion. Those of you who are watching, chime in. I mean, is it easier to love others or easier to love yourself? And I think that there's a lot of power in that space where we can really be honest and authentic with ourselves and come to that place where we can have true love for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I think just honoring each emotion and each experience, and creating that space for yourself, like giving yourself permission to pause and rest. And even if it's just 5 minutes of breathing or 5 minutes of journaling, can really help you feel more connected and understand, right? Because how can we really expect others to understand if we're not really understanding ourselves? And, the holidays, they really do bring up a mix of emotion, right? There's joy, nostalgia, love, maybe there's some pain, sadness, stress, and all of these feelings are valid and they really deserve space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the healing is not to be like on some mountain and be like, oh, I never feel those things again. Like we're human. And to have those feelings, it's a beautiful range. If we just stayed in joy, if we just stayed in anger, we wouldn't know what joy is, and vice versa. If we stayed in one, if we didn't feel anger, we wouldn't really care about joy.
Yeah. And, I think it's important that we really get curious, right? Like get curious about why is that emotion there? Mm-hmm. Where is that emotion coming from? Why is it that we're given this emotion in this time for us to go through an experience? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the beauty, and that's where we can dig and find all those lessons. I always think about, for example, like I have a different kind of relationship with each one of my kids, right? I love them, and I know that they each have different buttons of mine that they know how to push. Right. And I'm like, okay. But then, I start to think, my oldest daughter is in my life so that she can help me reflect on where I need to find my own self-confidence and my own self-love, right? And my own independence. And my son, he's in my life to help me work through like the places where I feel like maybe things aren't fair or maybe, deal with money issues, and then my next son, he's there to teach me how to find my voice. Right. And then my little one, I'm not 100% sure what her thing is quite yet, but maybe it's just teaching me more how to love,
I think that's really cool that you are able to kind of view it that way, right? Because it sounds to me those are like your vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
You're seeing them in your children to kind of empower you to be like, wow, because I truly believe that too. Like children are such great teachers. So that's so beautiful. I would love like for everyone to kind of reflect in that aspect, right? Like just honoring that wherever you are. And being able to look at the people in our lives to see what gifts they give us, even the ones that push our buttons, there's a gift.
Yeah.
There's always a gift.
I think it's really powerful, right? Because I could, when we start to look at the things that happen in our lives or the circumstances or the situations as a gift, and how it's an opportunity for us to learn and grow and move forward, it gives us a totally different life, a totally different perspective. We're no longer a victim of that relationship or that event or that circumstance, right? We're now actually empowered by that relationship or that event or that circumstance. And when we become empowered by that, not only do we get to learn the lessons and allow our soul to grow and evolve, but we get to enjoy life a little bit more, even through the crap. Because let's face it, like life has crap.
I agree with that. And, you know, it's very true that any sort of like significant emotional event, it certainly does take from us. However, it also gives. There is such a great gift in those events that we gain.
Yes.
And it's just being able to get the learnings
Yeah.
from that event to be able to switch it and, like you said, like empower you.
Yeah. I mean, that is essentially what we do in our breakthrough coaching work, right? I mean, we are helping people start to realize all the different gifts in the crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
We dig through the pile of poo to find the gold because there's gold underneath that pile of poo all the time. Yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
Kathy. How are you? Merry Christmas to you as well.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Kathy. We miss you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is the power. This is where we get to live lives with authenticity and growth.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting how we like circled to this, right? We started with vulnerability because, you know, it it's I don't know, I just find it so cool that we're here because, you know, trauma is like that space when we're like forced to like separate from ourselves to survive, right?
Yeah.
So we become like fragmented. I always give the analogy of like the river splitting apart.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then it's like to heal, we connect with those parts of ourselves, and vulnerability is the bridge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it like allows you to meet your pain with compassion rather than like avoiding it.
That's a beautiful way of putting it. Yeah. It is. It is. It is absolutely the bridge.
Very cool. We didn't even plan that, guys.
We didn't plan this. I think the beautiful thing, though, Carissa, too, is it is those parts of ourselves that we are most conflicted with, or that
Hmm.
we don't like, or the ones that we want to hide, or the ones that we want to pretend aren't there, or maybe the ones we can't even see because we are
Hmm.
so disliking of those parts of ourselves that are the parts that have the most growth and value for us. And I mean, we see that in our work with clients all the time.
Yeah.
You guys, you want to look at those shadow aspects of yourselves and be really honest and vulnerable, where those things lie, and get to the root of why they're there so that you can find the real healing from those things. I think that's
Hmm.
super powerful. And the holidays, I mean, I think for many people, they kind of open up the opportunity to see all these different areas and all these different aspects of ourselves. And so I think they're a great opportunity to just stop and reflect, like grab a journal, or do some voice texting to yourself if you don't want to write, but just find a way to begin to process through those different things that show up.
Hmm. Breath work is really great too because it'll like help regulate the nervous system. It helps release that
Yes.
emotion too. And
Yes.
I love movement sometimes also, like just, for me, I like gentle stretching,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
more so than like hitting the gym when I'm going through something emotional.
Yeah. Or just dancing, like just moving your
Oh,
body
dancing
to
is good.
nice
Yeah.
music is really
Hmm.
cool. It's funny. My mom said to me this morning, she's like, "What are you going to do for your birthday today?" And I'm like, "I really want to get in like a 3-hour meditation."
Ooh,
She's
I
like, "Oh,
just did a good one. Dr. Joe has his new one out that he did. I think your husband was there. And it's just so beautiful. As soon as I heard it when he posted it live on Instagram, I was like, I can't wait for that to come out. And then
which
I
one
bought
is
it
it?"
yesterday and I was like, I can't wait to do it. So I meditated twice yesterday because I bought it after I did my first one.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
It was just so heavenly.
Oh,
It's so good.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You'll have to tell me which one that is. Is it a long one?
It's like an hour and 12. Yeah.
Okay, that's not a comparatively
It's not
speaking.
too bad, but however, this one's different because he doesn't bring you back. It's all about using the pineal gland and hitting all your energy centers. And then at the end, he, usually his meditations where he says, like, come back to me, come back to me. He doesn't want you to do that this time. So
Oh,
he wants you just to end the meditation wherever you see fit.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, beautiful. So, Carissa, what words of wisdom can we leave everybody? I mean, I think we've talked about a lot of really kind of deep stuff and how to use the holidays to your advantage to learn and grow and
Yeah. I just
more
think,
peace as a human being, right? Like I think we all just want peace.
yeah. And, you could bring self compassion into that because just honor your emotions wherever you are. Holidays can, like you said before, it can bring up a lot for us in different ranges,
Yeah.
right? We can go from here to here. So, vulnerability can look like letting yourself cry.
Yeah.
It can look like saying no if it feels right. It can look like asking for support. And know that, I think that the holidays often involve relationships where we feel pressure, right, to present a certain way.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to reflect on that so you can show up as your true self,
Yeah.
even
I love
if it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to say, okay, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. Who do I show up as? And why do I show up as that? And where am I hiding myself?
Mhm. Yeah,
It's,
because sometimes we do things because we feel like we have to.
mm,
Right. And then we have like this built up tension and resistance within us. And
yeah,
then, we're kind of mad at either ourselves or someone else
yeah.
when if there's a particular thing you don't like to do in the holiday season, figure out something that you can contribute and ask someone else to do that thing.
There you go. I've just asked my kids to make me dinner today.
Yeah.
I just want a nice home cooked meal.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, clean up stuff, whatever it is for
I
you.
did ask for the cleanup
No?
thing too. Like, can
Yeah.
you clean the house, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it off mom's list.
Yeah. I'm having my daughter help me today. I told her, I was like, get ready because we're doing it today.
Uh-huh. Well, and I hope that she steps up and gets it done, just like I hope mine are going to step up and help get things done today. It's like, oh, prayer.
I'm sure I'll have to give her breaks, but it's all right.
Find a way to make it really fun and exciting. And that's the other thing, you guys. I mean, it is the holidays. We should be having some fun. We should be having some downtime. We should be having some fun. We should be bringing joy into the season. And so, what is it that you're going to do to bring joy into your season? Because, like I always tell my kids, if it's up to us to create these things, right? It's not just going to find us. We need to set the stage for there to be joy, for there to be peace, for there to be love.
Yeah.
We have a choice. We can be cause in the matter of our lives, or we can just follow along. But when we're cause and we're in that creation mode, and we get to decide the way that things are going to go or not go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of power. There's a lot of power in that.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you guys going to be doing to create cause in the matter of your lives and to bring joy and authenticity and love into your holidays? Type them in the comments. Share with us. Share with us. I think I've shared a bunch already of some of the things that we're going to do. I mean, certainly, we can talk about bringing in the new year, but for New Year's, for example, we have a tradition in our household where we've got some jars. They're little glass mason jars, and every New Year's Eve, we all sit down as a family with all these little strips of paper, old school, and we write down all the things that we are grateful for from the year. And we put all of our, what it is that our hopes and dreams are for the next year. And then we go through. So we'll start with reading everything that we were grateful for before for the prior year, and then we kind of replace what's in the jar, and then we do the same with, you know, what it is for what we want to manifest for the following year. Yeah.
That's
Kathy,
beautiful.
how are you going to enjoy the moments? How are you going to enjoy the moments? I love that. Yeah, let's see what Lorraine says. I can't scroll here. Okay. Oh,
That's exciting.
being with family. Yeah, love that. Love that. How about you, Miss Carissa? What are your plans to bring all this into the year? And I know you're going to have a house full of company, so that is that
Yes.
in and of itself. I know for me can bring up all those triggers. You see those like the reels on Facebook where they're like, "This is what you see, and this is what happened beforehand." You know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's my house sometimes.
Yeah, so we'll be taking today to set everything up. So then that way tomorrow it doesn't feel so much pressure for me to get everything done.
Yes.
So, which is nice. And as we step into the new year, what a beautiful thing you do with your family. I'm usually in bed by 9 o'clock, which is terrible. I really have to change that. Like the past 10 years, I'm like, I'm so tired, but I should probably start doing some stuff. But I like to think about like what's one area or several areas that I'd like to embrace.
Yeah.
You know, like where can I show up more authentically for myself and others?
Yeah.
You know, and it's a constant reminder, but it's a great time to reflect on it now. But you know, it's not about being perfect. It's just about being real. And when I can be real, then I give others permission to do the same.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. When we bring that vulnerability, when we are in that space, it does create the environment where that's okay. You know, I think especially in this day and age, vulnerability is it's almost gotten lost. Being real has gotten lost. Like we all live in social media land where people aren't really posting what their vulnerabilities are. They're posting all of their successes and all of their wins, and those things should be posted, and we want to celebrate people and their accomplishments. But sometimes I think it also paints this idealistic picture that everything is rosy for everybody, and then people start to go into this comparison mode, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so being mindful of that, I think, is important. So, all right, you guys, we are at the top of the hour. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you take one nugget from what we've said and use that to make your holidays more joyful, more peaceful, more authentic. So that everybody, I mean, we all deserve to step into this place of just peace and bliss and happiness and joy.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
carry that strength of vulnerability into the new year. You know, use it as a tool for growth and connection,
Yeah.
which we said in the beginning, right? That's all what we want. Connection to ourselves and connections to others.
Yeah. It's what I tell my daughter. So my daughter still sleeps in my bed with me at night, but you know,
I miss those days.
I know I probably don't have much more time left. But you know, before she falls asleep, or sometimes it's after she's sleeping. And sometimes now she's like, Mom, enough. You know, I always tell her, you are loved. You are special. You are perfect the way you are. You are beautiful inside and out. And I love you no matter what. And that message is for all of you who are here, who are with us in our community as well. So Merry Christmas. Happy holidays,
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever everyone celebrates.
Whichever one it is, yeah. And good luck, Carissa, getting ready for your house full of company.
Thank
and everyone else who's getting ready for a house full of company.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right. See you all next week.